I mean, I love lending. I've been, like I said, a long time. Being in the broker world, being on my own, the pricing can't be touched.
Yeah.
Um, the
Yeah.
guaranteed rates, the movement mortgages, the
Yeah.
cross countries, the
Yeah.
pricing's not even close to my wholesale pricing.
Mm-hmm.
No mid-level management, no brick and mortar, very
Mm-hmm.
asset light P&L. These other companies have to make up for that. And
Yeah.
so what I love about it is that previously lending, we would compare rates to other companies and we'd be in the ballpark. I just don't get
Yeah.
beat
You
now.
couldn't always win. Yeah.
I just don't get beat now. And I
Yeah.
encourage clients, please,
Yeah.
it's your duty actually to get probably 3 quotes.
Oh yeah. That's where
Um,
I give out at least two. I say, here's the people I recommend. Call both. See what makes sense to you.
yeah,
By law, it's one of those things where it's like here. And they could call their bank, they can call whoever they're comfortable with.
yeah,
They're
absolutely. And
they're
I
welcome to,
totally
to
encourage
shop
that.
around because you are going to get different quotes. The loan origination fees are going to be different. So many things are going to be different
Yep,
between different
and
lenders.
general pricing. And so I would love to have 2 or 3 loan estimates together and be able to compare. And this is my favorite part about being in the broker world is I just don't get beat. It just doesn't happen. The pricing's too good with wholesale. I'm always a quarter to a third less in rate. The fees are always a couple $1,000s less.
Hmm.
And I love, I
Yeah,
mean,
you just have access to so many more things.
I just don't get
Yeah,
it. And I love educating customers, whether we do business or not. I
yeah,
love educating people for the future clients or to help people. I love talking real estate. I love talking economy.
yeah, yeah,
Um, that's my favorite part is certainly educating and helping people get to that next
yeah.
level.
It's
It
it's
really is rewarding.
it's one of those things. I just did a 3-day seminar over the weekend on wealth, and it's one of those things where you're not taught. Like as children, we don't have an innate knowledge of how to help set up generational wealth, how to help people to.
We didn't. It's
eh,
just starting to
uh,
creep in. I have an eighth grader, and I'm just going to freshman year, and I saw they are just starting to
are they?
finally teach some of
That's
that stuff. Whether it's
absorb it.
mandatory or if it's an optional class, I don't know. But yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's one of those things where, like, in my upbringing, and I know I'm an outlier in all of this, but I mean, my parents rented a trailer, and when I would ask about things, it was only rich people can do that. Where it was like, well, how do I go about being one of those rich people? You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it was like
yeah,
having to read books and study and model other people. And so it's so enlightening when we get to say to people, all right, this is how money works in the real estate world. What you do with your money after
hmm
we've helped you to get into your house, like we were just talking about the big difference between renting and owning and net worths, which we have on another video as well, where it's
huge difference.
the average renter's net worth is $10,000. The average homeowners is 430,000.
Yeah.
What a big difference! And that's what we get to help
I
people.
love educating people on this topic, rent versus own all the time. You got to
Yeah,
take that first step. We know that home ownership is more expensive now than it used to be, but there's
yeah,
a lot of different products and guidelines that can help first-time home buyers. That's another one we got to talk about.
hmm
First-time home buyer programs that are out there to help you get assistance, whether it's state or local aid
yeah,
from the lender,
yeah.
seller
Grants, all
assist,
yeah,
grants. There's a lot of different ways, but you got to take that first step. You got
yep.
to take that
You
first
just have
step.
to talk to someone and be honest about your numbers. Numbers are just numbers. Numbers do not have emotion. People get weird about money. And it's one of those things, so much of it is whatever, the conversations your parents had about money, the feelings you associated with it. And this is
Sure.
where I have a couple, my degrees in psych, and I just wake up and I read psych and I love psych and but nonetheless, there's a lot that goes into it. And that's what I like being able to educate people on. Like, you don't have to have all of these weird feelings associated with money. You can just, your numbers are your numbers. Wherever you're
Absolutely.
at is where you're at.
Yeah.
It's okay to be where you're at. It's okay to say, all right, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm going. And
hmm
that's where we get to say to people, okay, well, right now, this is where you're at. If you want to get here, this is what you got to do. So even if somebody can't get pre-approved right now,
100%. It's
it's
super
within 6
gratifying.
months. I mean, 6 months goes like this,
Yep.
like do this, whatever the case may be. And we've all gone through times of renting.
Sure.
Everybody. Yes, you're paying off your landlord's retirement,
hmm
and that's fine. But at the same time, as soon as you can get into it, you want to get into it. And there's so many options, as we've covered.
Yep.
Like there's so many options, and to get into investing, like that's a big piece. Passive income, and I understand it's not true passive income. It can be if you hire a property manager and all of that. But to have mailbox money Well, you know, the first through the fifth of every month, you're going to have X amount come in. I mean, why wouldn't you add that to your retirement
Absolutely.
portfolio?
Yep.
You know,
Real
like,
estate should absolutely be, I mean, I'm a financial advisor, but absolutely, I mean, real estate should be, can be and should be a piece of your portfolio, if possible.
correct. You know what I mean? Like in this wealth class, it was just, you look at the highest net worth people, and real estate is around 30% of their portfolio.
Yeah.
You know, because real estate is real estate. You know, yeah, like I said, if even if we go into a downturn, you're never at a loss if you don't sell.
Mm-hmm.
People always need somewhere to live.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just part of the whole package, you know, like the part of it. And again, not a financial planner,
Right.
but my brain makes a lot of sense.
We just need them to build more homes.
Yeah, we do. Well, I mean, and that's just it. There's no lack of resources. It's just a lack of resourcefulness. They're out there. You might need to fix them up. You might need to, you know, whatever. But yeah, no. Is there any other things? I think Liz is going to come in. I think I just saw her pull in, so we might have to edit this little section out. But is there
Um,
any other things that you feel we should?
You know, we touched on first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of younger generation that are super gun shy about it, and I get it.
Well, the first time home buyers are in their 40s now.
This is true.
Yeah,
This is
they're
true.
42 now, where
Yeah,
it used
the
to be
average- the
28.
average-
You know, like
Yeah.
the numbers just keep going up. So they're gun shy in general. So I agree.
Yeah. You know, it's tough because it's a little bit daunting seeing these home prices, and I get it, and rates are elevated relative to COVID rates. So the kids, well, the generation in their 20s,
Yeah, the kids for us,
Yeah.
our kids, at least my kids' ages. Yeah.
you know, grew up with artificially low suppressed rates by the Federal Reserve for years. Whether
Yeah.
they paid attention to it or not, lending
Yeah.
rates were close to zero, especially during COVID.
Oh yeah, and
And so
their
now-
well-intended parents are like, oh, the rates are too high. The rates are too high.
A 6% mortgage historically is actually below average.
Yes.
The problem is that it's accompanied with higher real estate values.
And that's the thing, though. Like by people stalling, the home values keep going up. So somebody doesn't jump at a 6% interest rate, and they wait a year. That house that you could have gotten a year ago is now 80,000 more. So your payments are going to be even higher, hoping that the rates are going to come down.
Yeah.
You can refi. So even if you jump and your rate's a little higher, right now, in a year, if the rates come down, you can refinance. But that same house
exactly.
a year later is going to be so much more. So why are you waiting, hoping that I hope the world calms down too. You know, like that would be great. My magic wand's broken. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, just get in when you can get in,
Date
knowing.
the rate and marry the home. That's what they
Correct.
say. I'm not
Yeah.
a fan
Well,
of that term, but
I've only
but it's-
married one home, the farm. And I dated a lot apparently until I got there. But
it's true though.
Yeah.
Real estate will appreciate on average, and it depends on the area, but our
Yeah.
area probably 3% a year. But if you're stuck with lack of inventory,
Yeah.
those home prices are getting bid up.
Yeah.
Rates are going to stay probably in the 6% range, but that house could be 10 or 20 or 30, 40, 50,000
Oh, yeah.
more next year.
Oh, for sure.
And
I
so
mean, I've had so many times where if you're in a good location. So depending on what location you're in, where the same house a year ago, now I'm out there and that neighborhood has just jumped. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and it's like, oh, I should have bought it. Yeah, you could should in one hand, right? And
Yeah.
you know, like you just have to jump.
the
You just
best
have to
way
jump.
to be prepared to purchase is to know what you're able to borrow.
Yeah.
First, absolutely get a pre-approval.
Yep.
It's very simple to do. We can run through the numbers. I can give multiple options, and if we can know right off the bat whether you can or can't afford it.
Exactly.
It's very
and then
simple.
we can, you know, you're able to tell them too. This is what you got to do.
If
you
you're
know?
if you're serious about buying a home,
Yeah.
you contact Mission Mortgage. You
Yeah.
contact Jessica Booth's team because
Yeah.
you need to have that pre-approval. You need to say, Jessica, I'm ready to go, and you got to be ready to pounce. Now, look, your dream home can pop up tomorrow. Absolutely
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
It
And
could
but you
be
can't
6
even
to
write
8
up an offer
months.
on it. You know, until you have the pre-approval in
You
place
have
anyway.
to have
People are
the
like, well, can't I
pre-approval.
just start looking? Can I do?
No.
Like what? If I had your house up for sale, why would I let people who don't know if they could buy it or not walk through it? Like I
100%.
wouldn't. You know, so
You have to be.
you got to get your numbers in place, and there's no emotion to the numbers. You're good to go or you're not. You're comfortable with it or not. You're going to put this much down. You want your payment to be this much. You know, like it's all about our clients. You know, like what they're comfortable with, whether they're pre-approved for more or not. You know, like this is where they're at and what they're happy with.
Yeah,
You know, so
you have to be ready to go in this market. If there are 4 or 5 bids on average per house.
Yeah.
It depends on the area again,
Yeah.
but with lack of inventory, a lot of first-time home buyers that I see miss out on 3, 4, 5 homes because they're either gun shy because they're not sure about it, they're not sure
Yeah.
exactly what home they want, or if they do bid, they get outbid. And so that's why you have to have a plan set up and a
Yeah.
strategy set up where you're pre-approved for an exact amount. You really know what you want, and that's where you come
Yeah.
in to show them homes and nail down.
And,
So
and,
when
and
that
their
home
numbers
pops
too,
up,
the tricks of the trade, like if paying both sides of the transfer tax, to having an escalation clause, all of these things that would help in a bidding situation
yeah, absolutely.
that your agent helps with,
Seller
so that's
assist
why,
is very big today.
yeah,
Seller assist
so
is huge.
it's one of those things where you're working with the lender, working with the agent, pulling it all together.